Karen's audacity reached a horrifying level when she grabbed my disabled daughter's mask in public, ignoring all rules, decency, and safety. She assumed that boldness, aggression, and HOA entitlement could force compliance and humiliate us. What she did not anticipate was that her reckless action would result in immediate law enforcement intervention and her arrest. It happened one afternoon when my family and I were walking near the HOA office. My daughter, who relies on her mask due to a medical condition, was wearing it as usual. Karen, observing from across the street, stormed forward, shouting demands and accusations. Her audacity was fueled by previous attempts to control and intimidate others without consequence. She assumed her aggression would be sufficient to command obedience. Without warning, Karen reached forward and forcibly removed my daughter's mask. Shock and panic set in immediately, not only for my daughter but for the nearby community members who witnessed the assault. Karen's audacity had crossed a critical boundary, endangering a vulnerable individual and violating multiple legal statutes. I reacted instantly, moving between Karen and my daughter while calling law enforcement. Security cameras and witnesses captured every detail. Karen, confident in her audacity, had not anticipated the immediacy of accountability, nor that her actions would be documented in real time. The situation escalated as Karen attempted to justify her actions with fabricated claims of HOA authority. She yelled, gestured aggressively, and tried to maintain control, but her audacity had blinded her to the consequences. Her reckless interference with a disabled minor triggered immediate law enforcement response. Within minutes, police arrived on the scene, assessing the situation, interviewing witnesses, and reviewing the recorded footage. Karen, expecting intimidation and compliance, was now confronted by the reality of legal authority. Her audacious attempt to exert control had become her undoing. I provided full statements and presented all evidence, including medical documentation and witness testimony. The officers quickly determined that Karen's actions constituted assault and endangerment. The audacity she relied on as a shield of fear was now fully exposed as reckless criminal behavior. Karen resisted initially, trying to argue, shout, and assert false authority, but law enforcement moved decisively. She was placed into custody while the officers ensured my daughter's safety. The audacity that had emboldened her for years now led directly to her accountability and humiliation. Neighbors and bystanders, previously familiar with Karen's aggressive tendencies, watched as her boldness collapsed under legal scrutiny. Her reputation, once intimidating, was shattered in an instant. Cedar Pines residents observed the power of preparation, documentation, and immediate legal response in countering reckless audacity. By the afternoon, Karen was formally charged with assault, endangerment, and interfering with a disabled individual's rights. Her audacious attempt to humiliate and control had not only failed but backfired spectacularly, placing her in direct legal jeopardy. Reflecting on the incident, the lesson was undeniable. Audacity without accountability, foresight, and respect for law is entirely self-defeating. Karen had assumed aggression could manipulate and control, but her reckless boldness had instead resulted in immediate arrest and public humiliation. By evening, news of the incident spread through Cedar Pines. Karen's audacious attempt to interfere with my daughter had left her exposed, accountable, and humiliated before neighbors, law enforcement, and the community. Audacity, when misapplied, collapses spectacularly, especially when it threatens the vulnerable and crosses clear legal boundaries. Karen had underestimated not only the law but the preparedness of my family. Her audacity, once a tool of intimidation, became her greatest liability, teaching the community a vivid lesson. Recklessness meets inevitable consequence.